What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today I have a question to ask you about another player that could potentially be on the trade block for the Chicago Bulls. And he's a player that a lot of people have lost a lot of faith in over the past few weeks, past few months, heck, past few years. He's a player that is still relatively young, recently got re-signed for $18 million per season. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, his name is Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams is a player that very much intrigues me. Is a player that very much he gives me mood swings. I think that's what it is. Some days I feel very positive about him. Some days I feel very skeptical about him. Some days I want him to stay. Some days I can't wait to see him leave. That's the honest truth with Patrick Williams. And as much as there still might be hope that there is a good player in there, that hope does get diminished from time to time. So with that being said, the question I want to ask is it likely to see Patrick Williams be traded this off season? I mean, there's a lot to kind of decipher there, but is it likely? Can it happen? Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it in this video. But before we get any further, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about whether or not you believe Patrick Williams is likely to go in this current off-season, or do you think he'll be here for another season and another season to prove his worth to the Chicago Bulls organization? So, I would say this season, Patrick Williams has been massively disappointing. I mean, he started the season as a starter, disappointed, and he ended his seasons on the bench, with Matas Buzelis taking his place. And I think that was the right decision. Matas Buzelis won the All-NBA Rookie Second Team, I think it was, and he had some very, very strong games for the Chicago Bulls in the second half of the season. The game against Dallas and the Lakers stand out. When you look at Patrick Williams, he still screams to me, at his best, he will be a two-way player. He will be someone that can shoot the three at an effective level when he's playing healthy. He can shoot it well from the three-point line at an effective level, and he'll be a guy you rely on the defensive end to get you a stop and to probably help slow down someone's best player. Not necessarily stop them every time, but to try to slow them down. That's what you're hoping Patrick Williams can be for the Chicago Bulls at this stage of his NBA career. Notice how I didn't say superstardom. And I've said this quite a while for Patrick Williams. I think superstardom you need to throw out the window. He's not going to be that. It's been 5 years now. We need to focus on the reality that's set in place. I think his development is a two-way player. That is what he's going to be at his best. And trust me, I think the Chicago Bulls need two-way players. Very much so. It was very clear our defensive work was lackluster last season. It was very clear that the Chicago Bulls were one of the worst defensive teams for most of the first half of the season. It was very, very clear, and that included Patrick Williams. So I think as a Bulls organization, it is very hard to say we need to get rid of someone that could be one of your best defenders when he's playing 100% and he's giving you his all. He's one of our best defenders when he does that. So it's very difficult to say we should be getting rid of that, but at the same time, he's on $18 million per season, and you just saw Desmond Bane get traded for 4 first-round picks. You might be able to get a good haul for Patrick Williams. I'm not saying 4 first-rounders worth, but you could get something you probably didn't expect at the beginning of this season. And that's where the opportunity may come. That's where it could be better for the Bulls to cash in now instead of waiting. So there is definitely a conversation to be had there. And with that being said, all in all, should the Chicago Bulls pull the trigger on a Patrick Williams deal? It's difficult to say because he fits our timeline. But at the same time, do you want to be paying $18 million per season for a bench player? Look, I know the salary cap is rising, and I know that $18 million is not exactly the worst contract in the world anymore. But he's still going to be off our bench. It's as simple as that. He will still be off of our bench. My answer, I think the Bulls should really be looking into this. I really do. And the reason why there are still teams out there that will believe in Patrick Williams. I fully believe it. I think there will be a team that is desperate enough to take the chance to believe that Patrick Williams can still be the superstar that maybe we failed to develop him into. There's a possibility that can happen. I mean, do you think the Bulls are the best development team in the NBA? I've never heard anybody say that we are. There's very valid reasons to why we're not. Those reasons still persist. There have been many players that have went on and did great things outside of a Chicago Bulls uniform. Maybe Patrick Williams could be the next one. Teams might see that as an opportunity. And for $18 million, for 4 years I think it is now, someone might jump at that chance and will give us draft capital, or maybe give us a bad contract and draft capital, or maybe give us another young asset in return. That could be a possibility, and we shouldn't be ignoring the possibility. The Bulls should look into this. Do I mean that they need to pull the trigger? No, they don't need to pull the trigger on it. But they should be exploring it. They shouldn't be denying calls for Patrick Williams. Every offer should be listened to and evaluated. And every offer should be discussed. If that is happening, I'm on board, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it's the right move. And if there is a move that's too good to refuse, you have to pull the trigger, because this trade period could be a very interesting one for the rest of the league. It could be a very big off season. And I want the Bulls to play a part of that. So if there's good trades around, you got to listen. But if there isn't, that's okay. Keep him around. He doesn't hurt us that much. And you go ahead next season and hope that he can show us what he's all about. I don't think there's a possible way that we lose in this situation. But, you know, we could be proven wrong in that standpoint. It's happened before. I'm sure it'll happen again. Anyway, that's my last video for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.